What's going on, bottom line viewers? It's Dylan here. As you hear the phone, the classic ring. Used to be a lot more prominent back in the old videos, but it has come back. It's returned. We have returned for the NFL weekly recaps. Last week, myself and Mitch were not able to upload this kind of video, and Mitch is still not here this week. He's off to a hockey game tonight, so I decided, you know what, I got some time to do this video by myself, and I wanted to give you guys this video that wasn't out last week and talk about this week's NFL recap. So I see a couple people have already joined. Thank you very much. If you guys enjoy these recaps every single Tuesday for the most part, go ahead and like the video. Comment below your thoughts on this week. This was a very busy week. A lot of stuff happened this week in the NFL. So we're going to talk about every single game. We're going to talk about everything. Comment below your thoughts on that. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notifications so you can get these updates to watch these videos live with us and all that good stuff. And then check out my own channel, WWE The Shield. Might have a more serious topic on there tonight. We'll see. Depends on how I feel. But let's go ahead and get into these games here. I'll go into the comment section as frequently as I can. First game we had was Thursday Night Football, the Patriots and the Buccaneers. I think this is one of our more anticipated games of the week because the Patriots, they've been struggling. They were 2-2 coming into this game. Their defense was awful. They gave up the most points in the NFL to start off the first 4 weeks. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who we've been considering one of the best teams in football coming into the season, we wanted to see how they were going to produce because although they did beat the Giants, they had a very poor performance against the Vikings the week before that. And they barely beat the Giants, who are 0-5. We'll talk about them a little bit later on. So we were waiting for this game to happen. And the New England Patriots came up with a victory 19-14. I was not able to watch this game. I did watch a couple of the highlights, but I wasn't able to watch it live. What I saw out of this game, Tom Brady was 30 of 40, which is 75%, 303 yards, a touchdown, and an INT. The Buccaneers defense was giving up a lot of yards, but they were holding their ground when it came to the Patriots. They got 4 field goals. So the only touchdown came in the second quarter with a 5-yard pass to Chris Hogan, which that was a great fantasy pickup for me. I picked him up in one of my leagues. I'm 4-1 in that league. And my running backs to start off the year were David Johnson and Dalvin Cook, who are out. So amazingly still 4-1 in that league. Probably not going to make much farther on. But anyways, I think it came down to just some pretty bad luck on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Nick Folk was 0 for 3 in this game, which means he's released. He's injured, I believe, as well. So they signed another kicker. I don't remember who it was, but they put Folk on some kind of IR to where when he's healthy, he must be released. So he's gone from the Buccaneers. I remember when this man was missing some field goals with the Dallas Cowboys right before he got released. He was terrible. Then he went to the Jets, kind of got his career back together. But if he makes all 3 of those field goals, that's 9 points. It's 23-19. Buccaneers would have won this game. I don't think this was a great showing for the Patriots in most ways except the defense. They only gave up 14 points. Jamie Swinson, 26 of 46, 334 yards and a touchdown. It's kind of proven my claim that if you throw the rock 40 times a game, you're going to lose the game. Brady did throw exactly 40 and won this game, but it really wasn't up to him. And Jamie Swinson got to the 20-yard line and almost won the football game for them. So, yeah, kind of disappointing for both teams here. Weird game to say the least. Next week, the New England Patriots play the Jets for first place in the division. I want to point that out. They're playing for first place in that division. What the hell is going on with the NFL? And then the week after, they play the Falcons, which will probably be one of the best games of the season. And then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers next week will be playing the Arizona Cardinals, so that'll help them out. Although they're only currently favored by 2.5 points on the spread. So good stuff here. A couple of comments. Russell Wilson, of course, the Go Hawks comment, of course. I'm not surprised by that. Killen Boy says, I'm picking up everyone on the Pats offense. Bro, I mean, look, Tom Brady's my quarterback. I might have a dilemma, though, because I have him and Alex Smith as my quarterbacks. I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. If Mitch was here, he would have answered this question for me. But, yeah, I got Chris Hogan, great. Gronkowski, if he can freaking stay healthy. That's what pissed me off, though, because he got hurt right before the game, and he had to put that out there. I'm like, bro, come on, bro. Actually, just let me respond to something real quick. But yeah, that kind of pissed me off. I'm like, I had to start OJ Howard, and he got no catches. Not a fan of that, but whatever. So is life. I still won that game for fantasy. So, yeah, good game or a decent enough game, whatever. Deshaun says go Giants, which Russell Wilson says 0-16. Yeah, they're terrible, guys. The Giants are terrible. They're done. They are done. We'll talk about them later. Chauncey says, brother Dylan, I knew you'd come. Of course. Yes, Chauncey. I've been waiting for you as well. Deshaun says, go Ravens. No. Landon says, everybody's getting injured. Yes. A lot of injuries this week. We're going to be talking about those. Let's see. Next game we will be talking about here is the Buffalo Bills and Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals picked up the victory 20-16. This is why the NFL is one of the most inconsistent years I've ever seen. The Buffalo Bills had great wins over Denver and Atlanta, and we're like, bro, the Buffalo Bills could be something. And the Cincinnati Bengals have been pretty trash. Their one victory coming up before this game was against the Cleveland Browns. And yet the Cincinnati Bengals won this game. A.J. Green had a monster performance, 7 receptions for 189 yards and touchdown. Burned Tre'Davious White, the rookie, on that play. So what happened? I mean, I really don't know. A.J. Green got it done. Andy Dalton wasn't too bad. I mean, he threw 2 interceptions. That's pretty terrible. But Tyrod Taylor wasn't getting it done. The running game, 19 carries, 63 yards for LaShawn McCoy. I think that was a big bad thing for them. Charles Clay got injured in this game, so he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. Nick O'Leary was their number 1 receiver, which, by the way, I only remember that name because he's a Florida State tight end when Jameis Winston was there. So, yeah, he's going to have to take over for Charles Clay. That kind of sucks for them. But moving forward, I'm like, why did the Buffalo Bills lose this game? Like, if any team are going to lose to the Bengals after you beat the Falcons and the Broncos the last 2 weeks, what the fuck? Like, I don't understand it. They go into a bye, so that's going to help them a little bit. And then they play the Buccaneers. So they're gonna have a couple of big games the next couple of weeks after their bye. The Cincinnati Bengals, not very high on them. They don't look as confident. Joe Mixon has not been running the ball that greatly. They're playing the Steelers next week, which right now has an even line because the Steelers are looking dysfunctional as all hell. But I don't see the Bengals picking up that victory, if it makes any sense. I still think the Steelers are a better, well-orchestrated team. Like they have more talent. Is what I should say, because they're not looking good right now. They're not looking good. Mr. Mike 307 says the Giants are done. Yes, they are. We'll talk about them in a little bit. Sean says J.J. Watt out for the year. Yeah, we'll talk about that in Sunday night. We did talk about that in Sunday Night Football, but I'll bring it up again when we get to that game. Next game. This was the most lit game of the week. No, I'm kidding. Jets-Browns. The Jets are over 500. What the fuck? They already beat the record that I thought they were going to have, like, 2 weeks into the season. I predicted they were, or 3 weeks into the season. I thought they were going to be 1-15. They're 3-2. Guys, they're 3-2. They've already, okay, yeah, my camera froze for a second. But yeah, they've already beaten my expectations greatly. I didn't think they were going to be 3-2. It did help that they were playing the Browns this week, but they did win this game 17-14. Not a big surprise here in terms of game quality. Weird enough, 2 notes. Josh McCown never won a game as a Cleveland Browns starter. In the first game he plays on the road at Cleveland, I should say, he wins with a different team. Go figure. That's Cleveland luck right there. Sean Kaiser got benched for Chris Hogan, who didn't play all that well when he got in the game. 16-19. That's pretty good accuracy. 194 yards, 2 touchdowns. Did throw an INT. Crowell is a terrible running back. McGuire was their leading running back for the Jets, and he only had 11 carries for 20 yards. That's terrible. Receiving game, not much else there. There's just a lot of injuries for the Cleveland Browns. The score was 3-0 at half, which was the worst of the week considering the Bears and Vikings had a 3-2 game at halftime. But, yeah, very disappointing. Duke Johnson's still their lead number 1 receiver right now, and he's a fucking running back. So I don't know. There's a lot of – it's not very good for the Cleveland Browns. They're also 1-5. I believe there's only 2 teams in the NFL now with an 0-5 record. 3, sorry. The San Francisco Giants are also in there. But, yeah, Cleveland Browns next week, they will be playing the Texans. which even though the Texans have a lot of struggles, I believe they're going to pull that one out. And the Jets, like I said, are already going to play the Patriots for number 1 in that division. Not a good thing for the Jets, but if they win that game, look out for the Jets. I'm just saying, look out for the Jets if they win that game next week. That'll be fucking crazy. But yeah, Jets 17-14 over the Browns. Next game here was a matchup between 2, 3, and 1 teams. Honestly, should have been a 4-0 team. The Carolina Panthers and the Detroit Lions. The Carolina Panthers won this game 27-24. None of us predicted that game to be that way. Cam Newton looks like he's getting back into form. I was making fun of him early on in the season because he couldn't throw a damn pass. The controversy happened to him with this past week with the comments. Whatever. It was such a bullshit thing. And I was like, you know what? In this game, I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. The Detroit Lions are looking like one of the best teams in football. It is still not there. There we go. I don't know why it's doing that. But I was like, the Detroit Lions look like the more well put together team. I said Carolina last week was the worst 3-1 team in football. And then they go out there and do this. This is what the NFL is all about. 26-33, 355 yards, 3 touchdowns for Cam Newton. You could have a better game, I guess. But if you're Cam Newton, you couldn't have much of a better game. Like, that's a really good stat line for Cam Newton. He also rushed for 7 times. He got 0 yards. So I don't know about that, but that really doesn't matter. His QB rating was 141.8. That's pretty good. I like what he did. Matthew Stafford got sacked 6 times in this game, which was not a good thing for him. 23-35, 229 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was trying to lead that team to a game, but Amir Abdul couldn't get it going. They had decent performances, but Carolina 4-1. What the hell? They play the Eagles, which is another 2 teams that are 4-1 right now on Thursday Night Football, which might be a great game to watch. Unfortunately, I will not be watching it. But Detroit looked kind of weak in the running game. That's not good. They got Amir Abdullah the week before, and then he did squat diddly shit. So he's going to need something. They play the New Orleans Saints next week, which already New Orleans is favored by 5 points. What? That's crazy. I thought Detroit would be leading that. The Carolina Panthers next week will be playing, like I said, the Eagles. They're currently favored by 3 points in that game. Might want to take the line on that one. Could be a good game, actually a really good game between 2 of the top teams in the NFL right now. Cam Newton could be back in form. Last time he threw for 300 yards in 2 consecutive games was the MVP season where he went to the Super Bowl. Just pointing that out there. So, good stuff. Next game, and then we'll go to the comments. We had another stinker, 49ers and the Colts. 49ers 0-4 coming into this game. The Colts 1-3. Jacoby Brissett trying to lead the charge. And, he played a pretty decently competent game. 22 of 34, 314 yards, 1 interception, no touchdowns. They got Marlon Mack in this game, baby. Marlon Mack. He was 9 carries, 91 yards, 1 touchdown. That's 9 carries. Not bad. Not bad performance. T.Y. Hilton, 7 receptions, 177 yards. What the hell? He's always good. But Marquise Goodwin for the 49ers had a pretty good game. 5 catches, 116 yards, one of the fastest NFL receivers you'll see in today's game. They benched Carlos Hyde. What? I don't think it was an injury either. Like, they just benched him. They also benched Navarro Bowman in this game. Why? I don't really know. But the Colts were very patient in this game. They got the job done. Jacoby Brissett actually did have a touchdown. He had a 3-yard touchdown run. So Brian Hoyer looked pretty good out there, 29 of 46, which is also not very good. 353 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was looking decently enough. But the Colts put this game into overtime. The 22nd touchdown by San Francisco put this into overtime. But with 1:38, the old stud, Adam Vinatieri, 51-yard field goal to win this game for them. One of the greatest kickers. Actually, I think it is the greatest kicker of all time. Is that any question? Great game in terms of confidence boosting for the Colts. 2-3. They might even win their Monday Night Football matchup against the Titans next week. They're even on the line right now. So they could be 3-3. Knowing the NFL, they could be 3-3. I like what Jacoby Brissett is doing. But Andrew Luck might be back after this next week's game, so that could help him. I don't think this is a playoff team by any stretch, but that AFC South is looking very, very weak right now and very inconsistent, so you never know. 49ers, 0-5, still looking for their first win. I don't think they'll get it next week because they're playing the Redskins. We'll have to see on that. But, yeah, interesting performance here. At least a good game between two shitty teams, so that's a positive. Let's hear a lot of comments. Mr. Mike 307 says, think Ben's going to retire. I thought they were going 0-16. Oh, that's what the Jets. Yeah, I know. I said 1-15 in the video. But Ben, we'll get to Ben. Don't trust me. We'll talk about Big Ben. Also, Deshaun has to say the same thing with that. Also, Mike says, Cam loves controversy. Imagine if Nick Saban got hired for New Mexico halftime in the season. I have no idea what that means. Let's see. I'm missing Carmela versus Becky. What? I love Becky. Is it right now? Oh, we're doing a recap on Friday, so it's recorded on the screen. There she is. Yes. Oh my God, looking at Carmela, it's looking great there. Becky won a match solo. Yes. Let's go. I can't believe that. I'll take it. Thank you for showing me that because I just got the finish of the match. Okay. I'll take that. Let's go. Batista would automatically be the GOAT in football if you played. Absolutely. I'm still looking at the screen because Becky and Carmelo are on the screen. Landon says trade Luck to the Jets. Yeah. No, the Colts need him to win. They can't. There's no reason for them to trade him. They can't trade him. They can't. It's not going to work. Chauncey says, Dylan, I take some time off from Raw and SmackDown. Trust me, brother, you're not missing much. You might have missed hopefully you guys checked out the format video where we're going to switch to Fridays for recaps and such. But, yeah. It's still shit. By the way, I just realized that they're doing this thing with the all Money in the Bank winners have to lose right before they cash in. Just figuring that out. Anyways, we're not here to talk about wrestling right now. I'm off topic. Titans, Dolphins. Marcus Mariota was out this week, so they had Matt Castle play as quarterback. We still had the Tennessee Titans winning this game, and yet the Miami Dolphins won 16-10. Cutler did get booed at halftime, but he still won this football game. 12-26, 92 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That's a pretty terrible line. 92 yards. They still won this game. Jay had 25 carries for 77 yards. That's terrible. That's due to very, 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 very poor offensive line. I wonder where I'm going to go next with this. Yes, I do know the joke of, the offensive lineman coach was caught snorting cocaine, which the new slogan should be, well, the Miami Dolphins blow, our quarterback blows, our coaches do blow. What's the difference? That should be their line. Should be their slogan. Jarvis Landry still a good receiver. 5 catches, 44 yards, and a touchdown, which was almost half of G. Keller's yards were for Jarvis Landry. Titans are in shambles right now because Mariota's hurt. If he comes back Monday Night Football, that'll be good for them. They need to win this division because that division's very, very painful to watch right now. Inconsistency on all fronts. The standings leader right now is Jacksonville with 3-2. The rest of them are 2-3. But they've all looked really, really bad throughout the stretch. I don't know what to say about either of these teams. Miami's not winning shit. Miami's not doing anything. Also, Mr. Mike agrees with me that Keller sucks. I've always hated him. I've always hated him. Let's go to the next game. Hopefully the Titans can come back because I said this team is going to be one of the best in the AFC. But they have not proved that so far. Here we go. We get to talk about this game. The Chargers and the Giants, baby. Two teams that were 0-4 coming into this week. I was really looking forward to this game to see which team was going to go 0-5 and which team was going to be 1-4. This is a class of 0-4 legends, if you will, between Phillip Rivers and Eli Manning as quarterbacks. And man, this was a hard game to watch. This was a hard game. Me and my dad, we got a good relationship when we were talking on the phone. And right before I was going to his house to watch the Cowboys game, he's like, man, I'm just over here chilling. I'm looking at these games. These games are terrible. And the two games that were being on Fox and CBS, because I don't have, shit. He's like, it was the Eagles-Cardinals game and this game. Eagles-Cardinals game was a blowout, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And then this game was just terrible. These guys are looking shells of their former selves. Philip Rivers, 21 of 44, 258 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Didn't look terrible in this game. More Melvin Ingram, good game for him, 20 carries, 105 yards. Eli Manning still looks like shit, 21 completions, 36 attempts, 225 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 INT. I think it's in his contract to throw an interception at least once a game. I think that's in his contract somewhere. Orleans Darkwa, 8 carries, 69 yards, touchdown. But you want to hear the real story, right? The real story is that the Giants have no receivers. They lost everybody. I mean, everybody that the Giants have for receivers is hurt. And it almost all happened on the same drive. Odell Beckham Jr., as you all know, broke his fibula, out for the year. It was gruesome. They were showing it in the middle of the Cowboys game, and that mother effer looked painful. Like, he just landed on the wrong end, out for the season. Sucks. Brandon Marshall broke his ankle. He's out for the year. God damn it. Dwayne Harris broke his ankle. He's out for the year. God damn it. Sterling Shepard sprained his ankle, so he'll only be out for 2 weeks. Okay. They've got no receivers. Roger Lewis is going to come in as their next receiver. Sterling Shepard will be there, but this team's over. As much hope as we were like, the Giants can come back. They just got off to a rocky start. No, it's over, folks. It's over. When you have no receivers, on top of no offensive line, on top of no running game, on top of no quarterbacks, you can't win this. You can't win. You can't. They're going to play the Denver Broncos on Sunday Night Football in Denver. I expect this team to get stomped on Sunday Night Football. Like, absolutely crushed. Somebody's getting fired in New York, whether that be Ben McAdoo, their general manager. I don't know who it is. Somebody in New York is getting fired because their next couple of games are with the Broncos, the Seahawks, and the Rams. Then they play the 49ers, and then they'll play the fucking Chiefs later on in the season. The Giants are done, folks. There's nothing to save this team. The Chargers playing the Raiders next week. Derek Carr is back, so I believe the Raiders will win that game. They need to. I think that's a game they have to win. But, yeah, this team's done. This team's done. It's over. It's over. OVER. Let's see. Mr. Mike 307 says all Finns fans should do a line or two to get them through the season. They really should. That's depressing. Damn it, OBJ is out for the year. I'm a huge fan of his. He's a great receiver. He's a top 3 receiver in this game. Julio Jones, Antonio Brown, OBJ. You can put them in, switch them between a 1 and 3. They're great receivers. So you got to feel bad for the guy, even his personality. If Eli doesn't throw an INT in 2 weeks, he gets fined. See, I'm telling you, it's in his contract to have it that way. But yeah, I feel bad for OBJ. He also said Giants fans should do a line this season just to get from that. Yes, all your teams do a line, drink some Jack Daniels. I don't care what it is. You gotta feel bad. Gotta feel bad for. I don't feel bad. I don't like the Giants. I don't like the Giants, but you gotta feel bad for those players that are getting injured. It's awful. Landon says NYC teams suck right now. Hey, bro, they're Jets 3-2. Jets 3-2. They do suck, but they got a chance, brother. They got a chance. In this NFL, you never know. Let's go to this next game pretty quickly. Eagles-Cardinals, 34-7 rout by the Eagles. Eagles are looking like one of the top 3 teams in the league right now. I'm dead serious. Even as a Cowboys fan, that really aches to say. But they're playing some pretty good football. If this thing would fucking load, god damn it. Stats are not loading for this game. I don't understand why. Oh my god, it's not loading for any game on ESPN. Hold on a second. I'm trying to fucking load it. NFL. Hold on, I'm trying, folks. I'm trying to get it. There we go. Carson Wentz looked great. 21-30, 304 yards, 4 touchdowns, interception. Carson Palmer trying to throw the rock as much as possible. He's getting a lot of yards. I'll give him credit there, but he is not looking good. Nelson Aguilar, 4 catches, 93 yards, and the sickest touchdown of the year. I don't like the guy, but that was an awesome touchdown. He goes over there, runs to the sidelines, fakes over the cornerback, and then goes in and celebrates like this. That was nasty. Even T.O. had to say that. That was nasty, man. So I like that play. Torrey Smith also had a 59-yard touchdown catch from Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz was looking dope. He's looking like a great quarterback right now. I like what he has been doing. He did play the Cardinals team, which is not great, but they're playing the Panthers. I want to see that game. That should be a really good performance against a defense that's supposed to perform really well. Cardinals are looking in shambles. They're 2-3 right now. They're playing the Buccaneers next week. So interesting game for both teams right there. Fights, Jets fight, Mr. Mike says. Indeed, there should. Let's get to this game. Seahawks and the Jaguars. Ben Roethlisberger threw more touchdowns to the Jaguars than Blake Bortles did. So I don't know what that really tells you. I don't know if that shows Ben's lack of not knowing what team he's playing for, or if Blake Bortles sucks. But the Jaguars didn't need to do anything else. They play defense. They let this man throw the ball and just catch his interceptions. Blake Bortles, literally, this is Blake Bortles' line in this game. 8 of 14. 95 yards and an INT. 8 of 14. They still won this game. You kidding me? Leonard Fournette, 28 carries, 181 yards, 2 touchdowns. This man was going off on the Steelers defense. He was looking like a beast, man. I really liked the game he played in this one. Holy shit. It was a great play there. Let's talk about Big Ben. Let's talk about him. How many times did Mr. Big Ben throw the football on Saturday? Or on Sunday, excuse me. 55! Are you kidding me? That's a lot of throwing the ball. A lot. Le'Veon Bell had 15 carries for 47 yards. Ben Roethlisberger threw 5 interceptions. 2 pick sixes. That's not good. Antonio Brown had 10 catches for 157 yards, sure, but you've got to be kidding me. 5 interceptions. He's done. He might not be worse than Eli Manning right now, but he's done. He's awful. They play the Chiefs next week. That's not a good game for you to bounce back. This guy's done. Watch Stephen A's reaction to watch his reaction to Big Ben, and you're gonna know what I think about him. Are the Jags legit? Mr. Mike 307 says no. Their defense is really legit. Their defense wins them football games. Leonard Fournette might win them football games. Blake Bortles does not win football games. Get this man out of Jacksonville. They'll be a good team if he leaves. Jaguars play the Rams, which might be a very interesting game for both teams going forward. That might change the course of the season for both teams. God damn. It gives me a headache to see how terrible Ben Roethlisberger is. And then his comments to the media have been the most annoying of 2017 by any player. I'll say that much. I got a headache now. Late games. Seahawks versus Rams. I was looking forward to seeing this game based on if the Rams were going to win this game after the performance against the Dallas Cowboys, and if the Seahawks were going to win, because they played a pretty bad Colts team, let's be honest. Seahawks barely won. 16-10. If Cooper Kupp makes an easy catch, the Rams win this game. I'm sorry, Russell Wilson. I don't even know if you're in the chat, but it was not a good performance. It's not. Team's not looking great. Russell Wilson, I'm very thirsty right now. Very, very thirsty, but I can't get anything. Russell Wilson, 24-37, 198 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. The rushing game for the Seahawks was non-existent. 8 carries, 20 yards by Thomas Rawls. The receiving game, almost non-existent. Jeremy Graham got his first touchdown of the season. Jared Goff on the other side had to throw this ball 47 times. Todd Gurley did not look great in the rushing game. Did he do anything on the receiving game? No. He caught 2 catches for 7 yards. Cooper Kupp makes this catch. Rams are 4-1. They didn't look all that impressive. Going forward, I don't know who wins this division. I really don't. I still think the Seahawks have more talent, and they could win it, but they're looking bad. They're looking really, 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 really bad right now. How I made that work was impossible. I'm sorry if anybody was still watching that, but I actually turned off my computer and the stream was still going on, and then I hit the button accidentally. So thank God it's still going. I appreciate everybody. This has been the worst streaming experience in a while. Anyways, where was I at? Steelers, or was it? No, Seahawks, Rams. Neither team's looking all that confident right now. Ravens, Raiders. The Raiders had to play without Derek Carr. E.J. Manuel was the quarterback. 13-26, 159 yards, 1 touchdown. It didn't really matter. The Ravens were beating the shit out of them. It was 30-17. They were leading 24-10 at half. Buck Allen was having a great game. Jimmy Smith got a nice fumble return. It was just basically – it was 14-3 after the first quarter. The Raiders were really never in it. Amari Cooper is not looking like the receiver he was last year. He's having one of the worst performances of the year in terms of one year to the next. 1 catch for 8 yards. 8? He only got targeted twice, but still, he's not looking very good this season. Michael Crabtree, 6 catches, 82 yards, a touchdown. I still like the guy. I still think he can perform. And with Derek Carr coming back next week, that's going to help this Raiders team. And they need it because they have 2 very good teams in their division. 2 very good teams. They have the Broncos, who are 4-1, and the Chiefs, who are 5-0. So they need these wins against the Chargers next week. They're going to play the Chiefs after that, the Bills, Dolphins, Patriots. They got some big games coming up. They need Derek Carr back. He's going to be back. I don't know what to think about this team yet. Packers, Cowboys. Packers came out with the victory, 35-31. My blood pressure is not very good when I watch Cowboys games. It is very difficult to watch Dallas Cowboys football games, especially in 2017, because it just raises everything. It grows. It intensifies with every second of having to watch these Dallas Cowboys because it's stressful as all hell. First half looked pretty good for the Cowboys. They were up 21-12 at half. Mason Crosby missed 2 extra points. Not very good. But then the Aaron Rodgers train went down the field, scored 20 points in the fourth quarter, and won the game for them. This Dallas Cowboys football team, the offense is really good. The offense, minus Terrence fucking Williams, is good. Really good. Solid. Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott had 29 carries, 116 yards. Dak Prescott played a great game. 25 completions, 36 attempts, 251 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception by Terrence Williams. Not even by Dak Prescott. Hit off the hands to the defender. Dak Prescott played a great game. Witten was in the game. 8 catches, 61 yards. He was looking good. It's the defense. It's very young, and it's very bad. Jeff Heath and Nolan Carroll need to get off my team right now. But I was watching this game with my family, and I had to be the color commentator. They thought I was doing a great job. Because I'm looking over here, and it's a different experience from when you're on the field, obviously, to when you're watching the game. Because I've been in both experiences. You can't predict everything the offense is going to do. Because trust me, this game would be a lot harder on the offense if you could. But I'm looking at it. I'm looking at one certain play in particular. It's in the fourth quarter. First play of the fourth quarter. I look at it, and as soon as I see the formation, I'm like, Jordy Nelson's getting this touchdown. I know exactly what's going to happen. They're going to bring pressure. The safeties, Lewis, they're going to come inside. Jordy Nelson's going to go for a curl route into the end zone, and he's going to be wide open. And guess what happened? That exact thing happened. Aaron Rodgers comes up in the pocket, stays there. They all put pressure on the inside. Nobody looks at Jordy Nelson. Wide open touchdown. They're too inexperienced. I was talking with my boy Strokey, who knows the game. He watches the Cowboys games. Says, look, they're good. They can be good. The problem is that they're too damn inconsistent. And that's true. They can make good plays here and there, but on third down conversions, we couldn't get the stop. The big third down conversion stop where we had Aaron Rodgers pinned down. All we had to do was sack that man. Mason Crosby goes a maybe make or miss field goal, but if he makes it, we go to overtime. If we get the ball, we can score and go win this football game. And in worst case scenario, they go get it, but at least I wanted to lose in overtime. Here, my blood pressure was rolling. We scored with a minute 13. I think we should have kneeled it down. Whatever. Aaron Rodgers leads it down the field. I don't want to play the Packers ever fucking again. It raises my blood pressure to an all-time high, honestly. It's very unhealthy. Very unhealthy. My blood pressure was 150 to 86, which if you know how blood pressure works, I don't know if you guys do, but maybe if you do. If you do, it's not healthy to be at 150 to 86. 86 is good. You want to be in like 125 to 140. Not very good. Cowboys are on a bye this week. Thank God for the team and for the health. And they're also playing the 49ers the week after, which will be good for them because I think they'll get the victory. I'm looking for a 4-4 record here. Because they'll play the 49ers, they'll play the Redskins, and the Chiefs the next 3 weeks. And then they got to play the Falcons, which would be difficult. But hopefully. Packers 4-1. They played good. Aaron Rodgers is great. They play the Vikings next week, which might be a very, very interesting game when it comes down to it. Now, the last two games we did recaps for, but I'll give short recaps on how I feel about them. The Sunday Night Football game was the Chiefs and the Texans. The Chiefs won the football game 42-34. They looked very good. Alex Smith is looking like the MVP this year right now, actually. 29 for 37, 324 yards, 3 touchdowns. Amazing. Kareem Hunt had his worst game, but still 29 carries for 107 yards. A lot of those came in the second half. Houston Texans, Deshaun Watson, again, another 5-touchdown performance. Kansas City's defense maybe not looking all that impressive this season right now. Running game's not been all that existent. Receiving games went all over the place. But, fucking DeAndre Hopkins had 3 touchdowns. So, good on him, brother. Good on him. The play calling for the Chiefs is amazing. I love what Andy Ring brings to the table when it comes to play calling. That's one of the most fun systems in the league. They get everything going down there. Will Fuller for the Texans, I forgot to mention, also had 2 touchdowns. But yes, we have the big story. J.J. Watt broke his leg, out for the year. It's so disappointing. It's so sad because this man from 2012 to 2015 was a beast. The NFL hadn't seen production like that. 69 sacks in 4 seasons. And then he gets injured last season. He gets injured this season. I hope his talent doesn't go away because this guy's a star. He could be up there with the best of all time. And yet, injured again. Out for the year. And for a guy that was raising all that money for Hurricane Harvey, had a great story, such a hard-working man, one of the best guys in the league. Everybody loves him. He's all this stuff. And he gets injured again. Got to feel bad for the guy. I really do. For the Texans, they could still win this division, even with their injuries. But that's hard because not only he's out for the season, what's his name? Whitney Merciless out for the year as well. So, goddamn it, Jadeveon Clowney has to lead this team again. They play the Browns next week. That should be a good game for them to get their self-esteem up. But then they'll play the Texans or the Seahawks the week after that. Kansas City playing against the Steelers, the Raiders, and the Broncos the next 3 weeks. So they need to keep this stride going. Don't want to slip up if you're the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't want to hear anything about Adam Cole, Chauncey. Last game, Vikings-Bears. We talked this about Monday Night Football. Vikings won this game 20-17. Case Keenum looked pretty good. I'm going to be honest. Case Keenum looked really good. 17-21, 140 yards and a touchdown. Came in there in the second half after Sam Bradford was really injured. Like this guy was really injured. Jerry McKinnon, 16 carries, 95 yards, a touchdown. They got the running game going. I know he had a very long run, but they continue to do that. That'll be good because the loss of Dalvin Cook is huge. That is huge for that team. That's not very good for them. Even if their defense is great, that is not a good thing for them when they lost him. I mean, he's also their leading receiver too, so Stephon Diggs had nothing. Adam Thielen had a little bit of something, but Mitchell Trubisky, all things considered, played a B game, 12-25, which is under 50%, but he has no fucking receivers. 128 yards, a touchdown, a costly interception. I think that was not a good interception. Could have been 2 interceptions. That's in Sendejo play where he tipped it up, and it was just right into the hands of Zach Miller. It was accurate. It was a good play, but it could have been intercepted pretty easily. I want to see production from him next season. I'm still going to look forward to the rest of his games, but there's no talent on this team. So Bears next week will be playing the Ravens. So that's going to be a stinker. And the Minnesota Vikings play the Packers. So that should be a good game. I think that's going to do it. Do we have any more comments here? We do not. I think that's going to do it for this recap of Week 6. If you guys enjoyed this video, smash the like button, of course. Comment below your thoughts on the Week 5 recap. I don't know why I keep seeing Week 6. Go ahead and follow that up. Subscribe to the Bottom Line View. Predator says the Bucs still have Folk. No, they do not. They placed him on IR in this kind of weird IR situation where once he's healthy, he must be released by the team. So he is gone. They signed another kicker. That's going to do it for me. Subscribe to the Bottom Line View for more NFL content, NHL content on the way. We're going to do an NBA preview on Thursday with Chris, who's going to be a new guy on the channel. We'll talk about it. Good. Thank you, Predator, for bringing this up. I almost forgot to talk about this. Oh, thank you, Chauncey. Great. Good egg. Yes. Adrian Peterson has been traded from the New Orleans Saints to the Arizona Cardinals. When the Adrian Peterson signing to the Saints happened, I didn't think it was a good idea. I didn't think it was a good idea because not only did they have Mark Ingram, they had Kamara, who's looking very good. Alvin Kamara is looking very, very good for that team. He looks like he's going to be their running back, unfortunately, to Ingram. And I'm like, there's too many cooks in the kitchen. So it might happen today. So I was like, I really don't get why he signed to the system. And then they played this game and these 4 games, and he was getting nothing. 4 carries in the first game. He wasn't all that productive. I still think he's a former shell, a shell of his former self. I don't think he's going to do all that great in the Cardinals. However, he's going to have a better chance because the Cardinals are one of the worst running teams in the league. I think they're actually 32nd in run production this year. Chris Johnson got released, so it's down to Andre Ellington. It's down to Andre Ellington and him. And Carson Palmer is going to need the attention. They might use him some way. I remember when Emmitt Smith last season was with the Cardinals for some freaking reason. So old running backs do produce something with the Cardinals. Edgerrin James, I remember he was there for his last season. So it's a better chance than he was going to have in New Orleans. He's going to be the number 1 running back there, number 2 at least. So I think he's done. I think he's done. I think this season is his last season, unfortunately. He's looking very old. He's 32. He doesn't have much in the tank. So we'll see. But that's going to do it for this video. Like, comment, subscribe to the Bottom Line View for more content on the way. Like I said, that NBA video with Chris, Mitch, and I will be up on Thursday. We're doing a live stream for it for preview of the season. Chris is a very big NBA guy, so you'll see him there. But yeah, that's going to do it. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.